A mind palace is a memory technique that uses familiar locations as triggers or hooks to store any information you want. If that sounds confusing, I'll explain what I mean in a bit. The mind palace technique also has different names for it. Some call it the memory palace technique, others call it the method of loci. But you can call it what you want. Even calling it the room or apartment palace technique can work if you live in a small room or apartment for that matter. Let's get back to the definition. There are two parts to the definition that I'd like you to pay close attention to. The first part is that it uses familiar locations as triggers or hooks. What do I mean by this? Take a typical house, for example. Inside this house, we'll pick 5 rooms as our memory triggers. These rooms are 1. The living room, 2. The kitchen, 3. The dining room, 4. The bedroom, and 5. The bathroom. You probably have these rooms in your house or apartment. If I tell you to picture your bedroom, you'll do it in a split second, right? That's because your brain has already memorized your bedroom and by extension, your house vividly. You don't need to start memorizing your entire house from scratch. You already know it by heart. The second part of the definition is storing any information you want. And this bit right here is the beauty of the mind palace technique. Since you know your house by heart, we'll associate that familiarity with anything you want to remember. For example, let's assume that you want to know the big 5 animals of Africa because you're about to go on a safari. You already know some of them, but you keep on forgetting all the time. With some crazy imaginations, we'll come up with a story connecting all the big 5 animals using the 5 rooms we made earlier in our example house. And you may have a hard time forgetting them afterwards. Ready? Here we go. Imagine stepping into your living room and seeing a huge angry elephant destroying everything inside. Your sofa, TV, everything is destroyed. It's a complete mess. You go to your kitchen and discover a lion cooking dinner. It turns out he's your personal chef. When you go into the dining room, you realize you have an unusual guest, a rhino. And guess what? He's enjoying the meal cooked by the lion. At this point, your mind is so tired because of all the craziness. So you head out into your bedroom, and right there on your bed, you discover a leopard sleeping, and it's snoring so loudly. Because you don't want to sleep next to a leopard, you head over to the 5th room, the bathroom. When you step inside, you get the shock of your life. A buffalo is brushing its teeth using your toothbrush. Crazy, right? I know I've over-exaggerated, but I did that on purpose. And the reason is simple. It's powerful for your memory. We had 5 highly familiar rooms that we used to store the 5 big animals. The rooms act as memory triggers or hooks to store each animal. What animal did we associate to the living room? You quickly picture an angry elephant. Why? Because you remember imagining an elephant destroying everything inside your living room. Which animal was in the bedroom? The cheetah. You imagined a cheetah snoring on your bed. What about the lion? Well, it was busy preparing dinner for you and your guest, the rhino. So that's how the mind palace works. You will use familiar locations to form crazy and funny associations for any information you want to remember. The mind palace technique helps to reduce the effort you spend repeating and drilling information into your mind. You can memorize the big 5 by repeating the list as many times as necessary. It works, but as time goes on, you find out that they fade away from memory anyway. You have to come back again and repeat the cramming process to remember the big 5. But with the mind palace method, endless repetition is kept at a minimum. More mental work goes into creating the associations with your familiar locations and the info you want to remember. I've been your host, Nick Mwema, and to discover more articles, go to impressivememory.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.